Let's go, bro.
As we all know, VeVe shared a booth with Marvel at Comic-Con over this past weekend. And I'm not talking about being featured at the booth or being a little side attraction. They had a joint booth with Marvel. It was a half and half. They were just as equal. Shout out to Adam Charles on Twitter for pointing this out, but he says that Comic-Con has over 200 exhibitors, but there is only one booth that features any Web3 projects, that being a little known company called Marvel. Marvel has always been a trailblazer for the comic industry. Glad to see them sprinting toward the future with VeVe. It goes without saying that Marvel is the biggest comic company in the history of the world, and every single time they're at a Comic-Con event, they are the main attraction. San Diego Comic-Con is the largest Comic-Con event out of the entire year, and you could even make the argument that it is one of the biggest pop culture events in any given year. And VeVe was front and center the entire time. In today's video, I would like to really focus on how major of an event and partnership that this is, and the future implications of what this could mean for how VeVe moves forward with their marketing and their PR. The first thing that I want to point out is how loyal Marvel has been to VeVe. In this situation, they have all the leverage. They've been extremely successful. They've been doing great at the box office. They've been rising in popularity. Marvel has just been doing great over the past few years, meaning that they have all the leverage, all the resources, and they have more than enough money to carry out a project like this if they so wanted to. Despite all that, they have been extremely loyal to VeVe. They've been exclusively releasing their IP with VeVe. They've been bringing them along to events, shouting them out on social media, and they're showing no signs of looking elsewhere for their digital collecting distribution needs. Take a look at this tweet from my boy Green Gobbler where he points out the social media promotion. And this is an Instagram post from Marvel, a paid partnership that says, visit VeVe's part of the Marvel San Diego Comic-Con booth and learn how to get awesome Marvel and VeVe digital collectibles. Plus, you can take pics with some of the adorable Marvel Mighties collection. As you can see, at the time, 15 hours after it was posted, it has over 275,000 views. And Marvel's Instagram account has 65.7 million followers. If just 1% of those followers joined VeVe, that's 657,000 new users. And I think a promising sign of Marvel and VeVe continuing their partnership is the fact that they are so heavily promoting the Marvel Mighties, not only at Comic-Con, but just in general. So many Marvel characters get a first appearance as a Marvel Mighty, and a lot of people seem to think that there is much more than meets the eye when it comes to these things, whether that be a future game, future movie, future show, future utility, whatever it might be. A lot of people, including myself, think that something is on the horizon. And there is an animated show on Disney Junior called Spidey and His Amazing Friends that look exactly like the Spider-Man Marvel Mighties. So that could be a hint as to where these are originating from, or if they have future plans to make more animated shows involving these Marvel Mighty characters. What I'm trying to say is that since these are being promoted so heavily within the VeVe app, I don't think they're gonna back out or change their NFT platform anytime soon. And since they're so cheap and usually have a lot of additions, it's the perfect onboarding collectibles for new users who don't want to drop hundreds or thousands of dollars immediately. It's a good way to get their feet wet with recognizable, cute little characters. Now, the next thing that I want to highlight is how this Comic-Con partnership is just a tiny glimpse into the future of VeVe's marketing potential, the reach, and what is possible once they really go full steam ahead with this marketing push. For those of you that don't know, VeVe has drastically been holding back their marketing because they don't want their growth to outpace their development. If you were around in early 2021, you know how much of a disaster the drops after Ultraman were for the next few months or few weeks. And that's because there was a major influx. The app's infrastructure couldn't hold all those users. An app would crash for 30 minutes, sometimes an hour, and you need to wait until you could hit the buy now button without getting kicked out or without the app freezing. So the last thing that you would want to do is give tens of thousands or potentially hundreds of thousands of new users a terrible first impression with an app that does not work. So they have been extremely strategic as to how and when they market and promote their product. So seeing them promote themselves a lot more is a great sign as to the progress that we have made and where we are headed. And the app has gotten so much better, it's so much more functional, and there are a lot of improvements that have already happened or are just about to happen. Like for example, Dan recently mentioned that the search bar, the search function is getting a whole new revamp, and it's gonna be actually useful because for a year and a half now, the search bar has been pretty much useless. So just small things like that are gonna make a big difference as to the user experience and what people can get out of the app. And a lot of times, if you're not really into it, if an app is frustrating you, a lot of times you're just gonna leave and not come back. If you try to use the search bar and nothing shows up for you, that's usually a sign of a bad app. I'm not saying that VeVe is, but a lot of people might get that impression. I think a major problem that has plagued a lot of NFT projects over the last year is that they were solely focusing and relying on hype, that they just pushed out whatever they could as soon as they could without really focusing on making a strong base, a strong foundation to move forward off of. And once the market did terribly, once people checked out of NFTs a little bit, there was nothing that people could latch onto to sustain it. On the other hand, why VeVe is so successful is because the IP that it represents is not something that will just die in a bear market. There are millions and millions of fans, as we saw for Marvel's 65 million Instagram followers, that there will always be some kind of interest, some kind of demand, and some kind of fandom of people who love these products. But not only that, VeVe has been meticulous and very steady in their progress and making sure that they do everything exactly right. Regulatory, app infrastructure, marketing, everything. At times, it may seem like things are moving slowly, but that is one of the major perks about investing in a company that really takes its time to be effective and thorough in their preparation with a direct focus on long-term sustainability. So the fact that they felt comfortable enough to heavily promote themselves at one of the biggest pop culture events in the entire world and very focused demographic of comic book fans, that's a sign to me that they're ready to move forward and keep progressing with the next stage of development within the app. Things such as the Master Collector program, added utility, more promo codes. Also at Comic-Con, Dan and David gave out some business cards with a promo code on it that gave you a gold and silver VeVe logo that is now worth thousands in the VeVe market. We can extrapolate this event and get creative about other partnerships and promotions that VeVe could do, not just with Marvel, but with other licensors. And that's on top of the utility that can come with NFTs to further incentivize promotions and onboarding new users. Brock McBlockchain recently put out a tweet thread where he lays out a list of low effort things that he would appreciate so that he can start onboarding new collectors again. And one of the ideas that he says that I really liked was to add referral codes for Master Collector program points. And that's just one example of many of the things that VeVe has at their disposal to promote new users coming onto the app. Since we are in uncharted territory, since we are trailblazers in this space, it is really exciting to think about all the ways that we could build off of this and create new promotions. This is really just a clean slate, and it is our playground to experiment and get creative. And don't forget that VeVe has one of the most powerful PR firms at their disposal in Rogers & Cohen PMK. They work with some of the most influential people and brands in the entire world, and I have no doubt that they have been doing tons of prep, research, and just work in the background to make for the most effective PR push when the time is right. I just want to quickly highlight a few things about RNC PMK. So they are the preeminent integrated marketing and communications agency in global entertainment, and they have been named to Forbes 2021 list of America's best PR agencies. Some of the services that they offer are brand communications, multicultural communications, content marketing, and the list goes on. And some of their clients include Activision, Cisco, Hasbro, Heineken, MasterCard, McDonald's, YouTube, Verizon. As the industry leader in brand PR and marketing, the agency has a full end-to-end marketing and business consultancy operation, including distinct practice groups in brand development, business strategy, research and analytics, creative, content, awards, digital, social. They just do it all. They've also brought on new brands like TikTok and high-profile entertainment events such as the Grammy Awards and GQ's Man of the Year Awards. They've also engineered some of the year's biggest pop culture moments around the release of Oprah Winfrey and Prince Harry's docuseries, and they handled all of Elton John's press in a very big year for the veteran showman. So they are no stranger to working with the top of all kinds of industries. So I think this partnership flies under the radar way more than it should, and I have full confidence that they're just cooking up something huge. So this Comic-Con event is probably the biggest event that VeVe has seen so far. But with that being said, I think this is just the beginning, and it'll just be a drop in the bucket of what is to come and what is possible. There is so much potential and appeal for this app, and when you pair that with a passionate and extremely lovable team, the sky is really the limit for us. And if you're around right now, I hope that you feel proud about being a pioneer in this new and emerging and exciting technological space. This major event is just a tiny little glimpse into the future, and I could not be more hyped to experience it with all of you guys. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys really enjoyed the video. Like if you liked it, dislike if you disliked it, comment if you got something to say, and subscribe if you are enjoying the content. As always, this is not financial advice and will never be financial advice, and my name is NFT Flenny. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.